What a marvelous age we live in.
Hot feet, fire in the middle. Hot feet, poor man's griddle. Hot feet, sizzling soup. Oh, what will I do? Whack, dilly bop bop bop. Hot feet, stinging like a busy bee. Drop feet, smoke like a chimney. Hot heat, burning terribly, nearly makes a furnace out of me.
During his presidential campaign of 1928, candidate Herbert Hoover would make this extraordinary promise.
Given a chance to go forward with the policies of the last 8 years, we shall soon, with the help of God, be in sight of the day when poverty will be banished from this nation.
October 29th, 1929, known forever after as Black Tuesday. Stock prices plummeted sickeningly across the board, spurring the rush of sell orders from terrified speculators still more. As anguished shrieks rose up from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, the visitors' gallery was cleared. In less than 2 hours, nearly $10 billion invested in stocks was simply wiped out.
In so many places, not in the countryside, the farming industry was in very bad shape in the 1920s. But certainly in the cities, it was very prosperous. People were making fortunes on the stock market. And then all of a sudden, poof, it went. And this fueled this speculation that just took off and took off and took off until, again, one day, somebody woke up and said, this has gone too far. People wanted out. And this was in the fall. Most crashes tend to be in the fall. And I think, again, it's human psychology. You tend to be more cautious in the fall. I mean, the speculations of summer that seem so brilliant, and suddenly when the chill winds of October come, you wonder if there's such a good idea, and you try to get out. And if too many people do that at once, it causes the market to drop, which causes more people to want to get out, and suddenly, the snowball rolls down the hill.
Hour after hour, the market continued its descent into chaos and pandemonium, as stock prices simply collapsed under the torrent of panicked selling. And desperate brokers fought and screamed and trampled one another to get out.
16 million shares traded that day, which seems like nothing today because we trade 16 million shares in the first 5 seconds of the business day. But the trading record set on the day of the crash, the 16 million shares, was not vested until 1969. It was 40 years before the New York Stock Exchange traded more shares than it traded on the day of the crash.
Mr. Raskob was asked if he believed that the decline in the stock market would have great effects on business. He answered that he did not believe the effects would be other than temporary, lasting probably 2 or 3 months, and that he did not believe that the effects would be drastic in other than luxury industries.
The tremendous crowds which you see gathered outside the stock exchange are due to the greatest crash in the history of the New York Stock Exchange in market prices.
How old are you? Where do you live?
I live in Hooverville with my aunt and 2 cousins.
What do you do on a normal day?
Well, I walk around looking for money for my family. Also, every day I wait in line too, waiting for food.
Have you ever gone to school?
I did for a while, but now I can't because I have stuff to do like looking for food and others.
What do you want in the future?
I want to be a movie star. I want to be famous and wear pretty clothes and jewelry, stuff like that.
This new weapon in the farmer's hands cut the prairie grass aside. The plow and the reaper made wheat the king as the new century dawned. Dry interior. Quite simply, a fragile land was being flogged to death. By 1929, an area the size of England was under wheat. It was a technological revolution. But in 1930, nature struck back. As the years of drought set in and the winds swept the plains as they had always done, the failed crops were not able to fix the soil as the tough prairie grasses once did. A nation watched as the plains blew away. The stories have grown into the Dust Bowl legends of the death of livestock by the thousands, the closing of railroads and schools, the use of snowplows to clear the dust, of cars sandblasted free of paint, and the exodus of 3 million people in defeat.
Where are you from?
I'm from Oklahoma. I won't be living here much longer though. The storm blew away all my crops. I have nowhere else to go. My only option is to go to California and try to start a new life for myself.
How hard is the journey out west for you?
The journey's been pretty hard for me. The hardest thing by far was watching my little brother die slowly. He caught dust pneumonia from the storms. And along with that, he had malnutrition because we couldn't provide for him out here on the trail. Myself and my family were just lucky we didn't catch it from him, or else we'd all be dead right now.
What would you do on an average day?
From sunrise to sunset, I'd be working on my farm as much as the day gave me, sunlight and all. I would help my mom and pop around the farm as much as possible, from cows to the crops. But now I can't do much of that. My farm's gone. I'm trying to find work, but I'm just trying to get to California, finding work as I go, but there's no work out here on the trails.
What do you think of the American dream?
The American dream. The American dream is all about striking it big time and making a name for yourself. California seems the perfect place to do that.
What inspired you to focus on life during the Great Depression when writing your novels?
I wanted to put a tag of shame on the greedy bastards who were responsible for this depression and its effects. The Great Depression caused families all throughout the Midwest to look for a new life and suffer through their journeys for work in the West.
There comes a time when a man gets mad.
You told me you promised me.
I know, Ma, I'm trying to. If there was a law that was working with, maybe we could take it, but it ain't the law. They're working away in our spirits. They're trying to make us cringe and crawl, working on our decency.
You promised, Tom.
I know. I'm trying to, Ma, honest.
You've got to keep clear. The families are breaking up. You've got to keep clear.
About us.
Well, we ain't like that. We got a future. We got somebody to talk to that gives a damn about us. If them other guys gets in jail, they can rot for all anybody.
Do you have any first-hand experience with migrants?
Yes, I grew up working as a ranch hand and saw the difficulties of the farmers and the ranchers. Leaving your home for new land and work is extremely difficult, especially when you're constantly just getting by.
What is your idea of reaching the American dream?
What American dream? I don't see anyone accomplishing anything. I see poor farmers looking for a better life, yet the only work they can find pays some of the lowest paychecks I have